The Apple event was yesterday and they made a lot of changes for the MacBook Pro which you might hate or like. So in today's video we are only gonna talk about the MacBook Pro lower end and higher end. So the Unleashed Apple event meant something fast, something game changing, especially for the MacBook Pros. First, let's see what's new on these chips. First, let's talk about the M1 Pro. Comparing M1 Pro with the M1 chip. The M1 Pro is 70% faster than the M1 chip. The M1 Pro can go up to 10 core of CPU and 16 core of GPU, and that's a lot. The M1 chip had 8 core GPU and 7 or 8 core CPU. That is a very good upgrade. Now let's talk about the M1 Max chip. The M1 Max chip goes up to 10 core of CPU and 32 core of GPU. Like wow, that M1 Max chip is a beast. Now let's talk about the MacBook Pros. So there is a 14-inch and a 16-inch model. If you want a small and compact laptop, go with the 14-inch. If you edit a lot of videos or run heavy code, then you have to go for the 16-inch model because it is made for pros. So first, let's not talk about specs because I don't want to bore you. So let's talk about the design. The main part is the display. So these new MacBook Pros have a liquid retina XDR display which looks phenomenal on the MacBook Pro. But they have made a little notch so that they can add the 1080p webcam. But it is fine because they have decreased the bezel size which looks absolutely amazing. Now let's talk about the ports. So they have included a lot of ports, unlike the last MacBook Pro. HDMI port, SD card slot, a 3.5mm headphone jack, 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and the trusty MagSafe charging port. They have also removed the touch bar, which is not great, at least for me, because the touch bar is a unique tool that no other laptop has. Finally, let's talk about the specs. The lower end MacBook Pros have the M1 Pro chip. The 14-inch model starts from the 16GB RAM. You can upgrade up to 64 gigs of RAM. You can get 512 gigs of storage and can upgrade up to 8 TB SSD. So the higher end MacBook Pro M1 Max chip 16-inch starts from 32 gigs of RAM and can upgrade up to 64 gigs of RAM. It starts from 1 TB SSD of storage and can upgrade up to 8 TB SSD of storage. So should you buy these MacBooks? So if you have already have the M1 MacBook, you don't need to buy the new 2021 MacBook Pro. Well, if you have the money, sure, go ahead and buy it. So yeah, you need to decide if you are buying the new MacBook Pro or not. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye guys.